joined. And I loved what she was saying. I said, this is like my problem is solved. Remote work, this is going to solve my problem. So I paid that night, and I paid a deposit for someone else too. So that's to show you how motivated I was. And I joined the course. The most amazing part of the course is the family part. You know, it was just like we've known ourselves for years. The business analytics, we started as a general course, everybody together, and then we split to different courses after some weeks. It was so interesting, and I decided to encourage everybody in the group to follow up the course and finish. So almost all of us in the business analysis, we started and we finished. I followed the course religiously because to me, this is life and death. At least I'm from Nigeria and I should prove myself. So I followed the course step by step. Went to LinkedIn, optimized my LinkedIn. I built my project. It was like building a website. I did everything line by line, point by point, and I started posting my profile. And when the 30 days the challenge came up and they said we should post every day for 30 days, man, it was not easy, but I did it. As by the end of that, those 30 days, I moved my subscribers or my followers from 500 to 900 and something. And it's not easy, but just do it, you know. And as I was doing it, sometimes there was this post I made that did not get any click. No, it wasn't like, but the impression was 16,000. I went somewhere, I just joined a group where I wanted to start posting blogs. Apart from my website, I wanted to be posting blogs on the platform. I saw one of the owners of the platform posted my post and made comments on that, used it to teach. I was so encouraged. So, long story short, I finished my training, and we were about to start our internship. The human resource now called me and said, I should come and meet with them urgently. I said, this is why you're calling me for a meeting. I know when you call people, there's like a butcher house. What happened? They said nothing. I should just come. I went, and they now started telling me that they've been watching me because the bank is restructuring again, and we have to align with the head office in Cote d'Ivoire. So they had to create other departments. So suddenly, what my former boss said is unattainable for a Nigerian and Anglophone in a Francophone country. They now offered me. I said, why? So no, we created this department. We want you to be the head of the department. What I'm just saying like this, it's more like 5 steps ahead. I didn't know what to say. I said, okay, I will think about it. They said, no, don't think about it. Take it. Because I said, okay, is that going to be training? You know what they asked me? Which training do you want? You're the one that will train others. We've been looking at your LinkedIn. They're asking us to train. They are all on your LinkedIn. So you train others. When I was doing this, I never thought about anything. I never knew that Nabiant is going to be a step for me to what I've been looking for since 2017. I was promoted, salary doubled, advantages tripled, and you can imagine where I am. And when they say luck is preparation meeting opportunity, I was never thinking of this part. So I encourage everyone here to just take it seriously. LinkedIn is your best platform, free of charge. Just go there and charge yourself. Work on your portfolio. Just follow the steps. Everything you're being taught here, follow it one after the other. And the most amazing part is that every team member is ready to help. If you just reach out, they are ready to help. Even the ones you think they are disturbing you, they are there for you. So I just came in here to encourage all of you, because honestly, if I was going to apply for this, they wouldn't have still given it to me. And I was just sitting in my office, they offered it to me. And I'm still grateful to God. I'm grateful to Nabiant for the opportunity to showcase my sleeves.
Wow. Thank you. I totally remember Naomi when she joined and she was like, I won't pay for somebody else. You know, the funny thing is the person that you even paid for did not finish the course. She was.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and it's quite interesting to know that so like I say, you need to put in the work.
Exactly.
Right? We can't do it for you. Our job is simple, to show you the road and say, follow us. You need to follow. All right? That's you heard what she said. The 7 steps I talked about, it's literally what she did.
All right. Hello everyone. Hello. This is me testing microphone. So confirm you can hear me loud and clear. You can use the chat box, type loud and clear if you can hear me, and then let's set the ball rolling. Okay, confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm You can hear me loud and clear. Brilliant, fantastic. So my name is Mohammed Suleiman, and I will be the driver of today's session. Okay, I'll be your host to be my guest. Today we're going to discuss something very interesting. I'll be sharing my experience, and I would also love you to, share your own experience as well while I am. Okay, it's going to be an absolutely interactive session. Okay, and towards the end of the session, I would also be taking questions. All right, but I would love to know, where are you joining us from tonight? Where are you joining us from tonight? Are you joining from Lagos? Are you joining from somewhere, Africa, Kenya, South Africa? Are you joining us from somewhere outside of Africa? I would love to know where you are joining us from. Love to know where you are joining us from. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Osun State, Port Harcourt. Brilliant. Brilliant. Lagos. Fantastic. Fantastic. Great. So let's keep it coming. So while that is happening, okay, we are going to discuss something very interesting. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly how it took me 2 years to break into the tech space and what I was busy doing and the likes. We are going to see all of that today. You'd also get to see other people who have done it the right way, and some of them will be speaking live in today's session. All right. So I would want you to stick around, long enough for you to see all of that. Okay, fantastic one. Now let us go ahead and get into it. There is no need to waste time. Okay, let's not waste any time at all. So I'll get into it. So now this is the point where I'll tell you guys that, look, if you know that there is someone who would benefit from a session like this, send them the link, let them join so that they can witness it with their own very eyes. What I will be dishing out today, okay, is not something you see, lying out there. All right, premium information. You're going to be getting it from me tonight. Okay, so it is in your best interest, send to people who you think would benefit from the session tonight. All right. So what I'll be talking about is how I was able to get my first role, okay, my first role in tech after 2 years of trying. Okay, but before we get into that, all right, allow me to introduce myself. Okay, my name is Mohammed Suleiman, like I said earlier, and I am the COO here at Nebiant Analytics, and I'm pushing towards a decade of experience, in the workspace. And I've had the opportunity to work, for top conglomerates across the globe. Notably, I worked with Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo is one of Italy's largest luxury car brand, and they have a branch in the US, which I worked with remotely from Africa. Okay, give me a second, guys. All right, all right. I believe you can hear me, guys. Okay, great. So I've also had the opportunity to help, so many people transition from classroom to their very first tech job. And I've also been a LinkedIn top voice as well. To add to that, I love to tell people that I also, transition into the tech space. I was not born a tech bro. I also transition into the tech space, and you can do it too. So you need to stick around, listen to how I did it, so you would also be able to follow in the same footstep. All right. Now in today's session, Give me a second. In today's session, I will be, going through quite a number of things. But many of you have seen Nabiance Analytics for the first time, right? You are joining us for the first time. Now, if you are joining us for the first time, type first timer in the chat box. Type first timer in the chat. Type first timer. Let me see the first timers. I know I should be having a lot of us joining for the first time today. Okay, fantastic. Now, for those of us joining for the first time, welcome to Nabiance Analytics. In a nutshell, Nabiance Analytics is an edtech firm that that specializes in helping Africans get into the tech space through premium tech training. Okay, and when I say premium, we are built on 3 pillars. Pillar number 1 is real world case study. Okay, you're going to be working on real world case study. Pillar number 2 is that winning programs to tell you, oh, go and figure it out. All right, here we teach you the soft skills. Number 3 is that we do lifetime support, and I'll be talking more about all of these things as we go on in the session. Okay, I'll be talking more about these things as we go on in the session. But we came here for something. Okay, we came here for something. All right, we came here for something. Are we together, guys? Are we together? We came here for something. Okay, so the very first thing I'll be talking about is how I got into the tech space. Okay, how I got into the tech space, and then we'll go into some of the extra layout support and some success stories, and then I'll make a special announcement at the end of today's session, and you'd get to ask me all your questions. So if you have any questions in the course of this session, all you need to do is note it down somewhere, and you get the opportunity to unmute and ask me the question tonight. Are we together? Are we ready? Are we ready? I need to feel the energy. 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 Okay, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic one. Fantastic one, fantastic one. Great. Now let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it. Now, how did I start? And I want us to pay attention. Okay, I want us to pay attention. Now, I started out being a mechanic. If anybody here is in Lagos, you would know Automedics. I used to be with Automedics, very early on in my career. All right, very early on in my career, I used to be a mechanic. Now, at some point, okay, and mind you, I also read mechanical engineering back in my undergraduate. So that shows you how passionate I was about cars or vehicles. Okay, now, and then it hit me. I decided, you know what? I want to break into tech. Are you with me, guys? I decided, you know what? I want to break into tech. Normally, I'm not a laptop person. I don't like anything tech or even coding. Okay, so but you know what? Why not give it a trial? Okay, and then I decided to go into tech. But now, guys, I want you to guess. Okay, how I chose to start. What did you think I started with? Type in the chat. I want you to guess, actually. What do you think I decided to start with? Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat box. Type it in the chat box. And mind you, also in the chat box, the attendance form is there. You'd see the link, a blue link posted by Enquiries Nabiance. All you need to do is to fill out the attendance form to get my slides, as well as the recording of today's session. Okay, as well as the recording of today's session. All right. People are saying, oh, data analysis, front-end developer. cybersecurity, Excel, data analyst, data analyst. All right, guess what, guys? I wish I started with those. Okay, I wish I started that way. Guess what I started with? I started learning Python. I started learning Python. Okay, and the situation was so precarious that I was just learning Python. What I wanted to use Python for, I had no idea. Okay, I had no idea what I wanted to use Python. I didn't even know why I was learning Python. Okay, and when I was relating these to my mentor, back then, he told me that it is like building a house from the foundation. Okay, oh no, what am I saying? It's like building a house from the roof, okay, then to the foundation. Is it possible now, guys? Answer me. Is it possible to build a house from the roof to the foundation? Is it possible? Maybe you're building the house upside down. If you're going to be building the house upside down, probably that will be correct. Okay, so, and that was my case then, because I was just learning Python. And the situation was that it's not as if I was even able to complete it back then. All right, so I ended up finding myself in a learning loop. I call it a learning loop. So that learning loop is such that I start learning now. Okay, after like 1 month, I lose interest. Okay, and somehow I gather motivation again, start all over again, reach that point, I stall. So it was start, stall, like a faulty vehicle. When a vehicle is faulty, it starts, after it works for a while, it stops. Okay, such was my Python journey. Okay, and I have tried to paint to you the situation now. Okay, and this was not the case. So let's even assume that, for those 1.5 years that I spent trying to learn Python, let's assume I was even successful at learning the Python. Guess what? I would have to come face these guys. For you to break into tech, you would have to outperform and outcompete these guys, the Indians. Okay, so, and this is an aspect people don't talk about. They'll tell you, oh, come and learn, but they don't tell you what you're going to be facing out there. Okay, because if they are told you, that should even drive the initial decision you make in terms of the career path to choose. Am I making sense, guys? If they had told you that, oh, look, this is the potential competition that you're going to be facing, so for that reason, to put your best foot forward, you need to be strategic in the career path that you choose. Okay, now, fortunate for me, all right, fortunate for me, I was able to meet a mentor. But let me tell you one thing about the Indians. All right, now, about 90 million Indians, okay, currently work from home full time. I'm not talking of the hybrid workers. When I say hybrid, they work sometimes from home and other days they go to the office. Okay, I'm not talking about those ones. Okay, I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about the ones that work fully remotely. Now, this 90 million, okay, that's about 50% of Nigeria population. Okay, about 50% roughly. Now, and the popular tech career paths that you would find with the Indians mostly are DevOps engineer, cybersecurity, software engineer, cloud computing, web developers, and more. Okay, and I've kept the link here. You can actually click on it and read more about this information that you are seeing on my screen. Now, what's the point? What's the point of all this information? Okay, what's the point of all this information? All right, because it's as if I'm here discouraging you, right? Now, if you are an African listening to me today, okay, the very first thing you need to do if you want to get into tech is selecting a niche. Okay, and you need to select it strategically. You need to select it strategically for you to get a realistic chance of breaking into tech. Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? Fantastic, 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 fantastic one. Great. So you want to get a real chance, you must sit down and decide which career path do I want to go. Because if you choose the wrong, just by choosing the wrong career path, you are in for a very long and in most cases endless ride. You don't want to find yourself in such a scenario. Okay. Now, I met my mentor about 2 months before I broke into tech. I beg your pardon. About 2 months before I broke into tech, guys, I met my mentor. My mentor told me the same thing I'll be telling you right now. And he told me that, look, you have been busy building a house from the roof to the foundation by starting with learning Python. What you should do as an African, if you want to get into tech, you need to look at one of these 3 career paths: data analytics, data science, or business analysis. And when he told me this, the most logical question was what I asked. Why? Why? Why data analytics, data science, or business analysis? Why? And he told me, very good question. Okay. The first reason is that it's easy to learn. Unlike other career paths, okay, this is pretty much easy to learn, regardless of your background. Whether you're a business owner, you're a stay-at-home mom, you are a 9-to-5er, you are currently, working shifts, whatever the situation is, you're fresh out of school, you're a graduate, fresh out of school, or you are still in school, or you are retired, whatever the situation is, this is pretty much a career path you can easily pick up and learn. All right, you can easily pick this up and actually learn it. Now, it's easy to transition. Easy to transition in the sense that the demand for these roles are very high. And if we have the time, I'll show you what it looks like on LinkedIn. The demand for this role is on the high right now. And because of the volume of the demand, okay, recruit, it's pretty much easy for you to find a job. For data analytics alone, for data analysts alone, right now, there are 15,000 open roles on LinkedIn alone. 15,000. You cannot possibly apply to 15,000 jobs if I even give you 1 month. You would not be able to apply to all 15,000 jobs. So because of that volume, it is relatively easier for you to get into that particular career path. And then they have fantastic salary projection. Now, except if you are fighting with money, you don't like money, okay? You're quarreling with money, then this is irrelevant for you, okay? But in as much as you are not getting into tech for the fun of it, you want to make ends meet, then guess what? This is one of the reasons why data analytics, data science, or business analysis, are the career paths to look towards as an African. Okay. Now, the attendance form is in the chat box. Do well to fill it out so you get my slides. You also get a recording of this session into your email. Okay, so you can get it into your email, after the session. Now, this is not just me talking. Okay, we have the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report for 2025. Now, this is a report that comes, I think, every 2 or 3 years. And it is a combination of a consensus, met by top personnel in across the globe. I hope we can hear me. Can we still hear me? Confirm we can still hear me, guys. All right. Okay. All right. So I wonder if you can still hear me. Okay, great. Fantastic. I just wanted to confirm there. Now, the Future of Jobs report for 2025, is a report that is prepared by politicians, okay, some of the biggest billionaires across the globe, captains of industries, very powerful people that drive the world economy. And they sit down to determine what are the jobs, that are likely to grow going into the future. Okay, what are the jobs that are likely to grow going into the future? And for jobs like data analyst, data scientist, business analyst, the projection is that demand is going to grow by an additional 30 to 35% between now and 2030. 30 to 35%, meaning that for data analysts, for example, that I told you that, look, you're going to get, you have around 15,000 open roles as we speak. By the year 2030, you're talking 21, 22, 23,000 open roles at any instance in time that you search for a data analyst job. Okay, so such is the projection. All right. Now, somebody's asking, how do you mark the attendance? The attendance form will be posted in the chat box by one of my team members. Just look at the chat box. Okay, don't write your name in the chat box. Just look out for the link. You see a blue link. Yeah, that's it in the chat box. So click on that blue link. That's the attendance form. Fill it out so you can get my slides later on. Okay. Now, are you interested in looking at the 3 different career paths? So you can even know. Let's even know. Okay. Let's take that first step for you right here, right now. Which of these career paths is the best for you? So let's demystify each of the 3. Are you interested in that? Let's demystify each of the 3 career paths, because many of you may not even be able to, differentiate who is a data analyst, who is a data scientist, who is a business analyst, before you then make your decision. And here is the part where I want you to pay rapt attention, okay? Because this is going to be a step in the right direction for you in making a decision as to what career paths to thread, okay? Beg your pardon, guys. All right. Fantastic. So let's demystify it together. And guys, I want you to pay attention. Please pay attention. All right, let's go. Let's start with the data analyst. Okay, let's start with the data analyst. Are we together, guys? Are we together? I'm checking in on you just so I know that we are fantastic. I can say they are fantastic. You guys are doing well. Now, guess what I love to call the data analyst? I'm not going to make it complex for you here tonight. Okay, I'm not going to make it any complex for you here tonight. It's going to be simplified. I love to call the data analyst what? Storyteller. The storyteller. The storyteller. So the job of a data analyst is to tell stories. Now, what are they telling stories about? Very simple. A data analyst goes into an organization, okay, gets hold of the organization data, and what they want to tell the organization is what happened. It could be over the past few years, it could be over the past month, it could be over the past week. What happened? And after explaining to the organization what's happened based on the data, you are also in charge of explaining why those things happen. Did that make sense? Did that make sense, guys? Did that make sense? Fantastic. Now, for me to further explain this, when you hear the word analytics, there are 4 types. You have descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. Okay, now, the first 2 types of analytics are the job of the data analyst, descriptive and diagnostic. Now, the descriptive analytics is what happened. You are explaining, you describe what really happened from the data. While the diagnostic analytics is, oh, okay, if this is what happened, why did it happen then? Can you tell us from the data why those things happened? So take for example, oh, over the last month, our revenue went up by 10%, and we saw an equivalent increase in customers, and that was the best explanation for us to tie to the increase in revenue. Am I making sense? So that's like the job of the data analyst. And for you to become a successful data analyst, you need to know all these tools on my screen: Microsoft Excel, Power BI, SQL, Tableau, ChatGPT, Looker Studio. Okay, ChatGPT and Looker Studio. All right, you must know how to use all of these tools to become a successful data analyst. Okay, data analyst. Now let's move to the data scientists and see who they are. Now, what's the job of a data scientist? Now, I love to call the data scientists the inventor. Clap for me, guys. The inventor. Now, why do I call them the inventor? Now, unlike the data analysts, the data scientists, on the other hand, are looking towards the future, and they want to tell the organization what is likely going to happen. I said the data analysts are in charge of what happened and why it happened, right? The data scientists, on the other hand, are in charge of what is likely going to happen and how can we impact that eventuality. I hope my English is not too much. I feel my English is getting too much. Okay, let me bring in that a little bit. So what I'm saying is this. Okay, the data scientists, they want to predict into the future, and when they see what's likely going to happen, they want to also prescribe, okay, what should we do now? All right, what do we do as an organization? Now, that's the job of the data scientist. And just to drive home my point, the other two types of analytics that I did not touch on are, predictive and prescriptive analytics, and these are the data scientists. Are we together? Are we together? Okay. So what I was saying is the predictive and prescriptive analytics is the job of the data scientist. All right. So they want to predict into the future and also tell the organization, oh, this is what you need to do, going forward. I hope we can hear me, guys. I hope we can all hear me, guys. Somebody's saying I can no longer hear you. I want to believe you can hear me now. All right, brilliant, brilliant. Okay. Now, as a data scientist, to be successful, you need to know these tools. Excel. Okay. Now you say, oh, but the data analysts also use Excel. Yes, they also use Excel, but guess what? In a different way. Okay, in a very different way, and you need to know these things to be successful. Okay, you need to know Excel, you need to know SQL, you need to know Tableau, you need to know Python. Okay, you need to know GitHub, and you need to know ChatGPT. And I tell people that in this day and time, ChatGPT, okay, can help you write Python codes, and you as a data scientist, okay, you are in charge of interpreting the results. Okay, you are in charge of interpreting the results. You are not a coder. Are we together, guys? You are not a coder. Okay, so as a data scientist, you need to know Excel, SQL, Tableau, ChatGPT, GitHub, and Python. Okay, now if you know these tools, you're going to be successful data scientist. Now let's move to the business analyst very quickly. Now I call the data analyst what? Storytellers, right? And then I called the data scientists what? What did I call them? The inventors, because they build models that help them predict into the future. Okay, what do you think I'll call a business analyst? What do you think I would call a business analyst? What do you think I'll call a business analyst? What do you think I'll call a business analyst? The operator, the builder. Okay, guess what? I'm going to call them the translator. Okay, I'm going to call them the translator. I'm going to call them the translator. All right, the translator. Okay, the translator. So I'm going to call them the translator. All right. I'm going to call them the translator. And what's the job of a business analyst? Your job is to go into the organization, and whatever the organization's goal is, you want to ensure that every stakeholder or every team member that is concerned with that goal directly is aligned. You want everybody to be aligned. You know, when you have two people that want to negotiate something, a deal that's very important, but both of them don't understand the same language. But you, on the other hand, you understand the language, you understand both language, you can then play the translator for both parties. So such is the job of the business analyst. Okay, and as to be a successful business analyst, you need to know all these tools: Excel, SQL, Power BI, Miro, Draw.io, ChatGPT, Azure DevOps, and Jira. Okay. Now, it looks like, oh, this is a lot. But guess what? These are easy to use. Okay. These are very easy to use and they help you out. Now, if you look at Excel, SQL, and Power BI, these are data analytics tools. What are they looking for here? Now, the reason we included these three tools in our business analysis program is because recruiters these days who are looking to hire business analysts also require that you should know how to handle data to a reasonable extent as a business analyst. So for that reason, we added it to our program. Okay. Now let's move ahead. Which career path do you want to choose? Which career path do you want to choose? So I have two fantastic people who come to share their experience shortly. Okay, but I need you to indicate. Just type in the chat. Let me know which career path do you intend to go with? Which one resonates with your kind of person? Is it data analyst? Is it data scientist? Is it business analyst? Let's know. Okay. Where are the data scientists? I see only data. Okay, fantastic. I've seen somebody for data science. Brilliant. Now, this is Naomi. Okay, one of our participants. Naomi took this same step you guys are taking currently, and Naomi got a job as a financial analyst. Okay, with the organization she was working with as at the time. All right, after joining one of our programs. So she was at the verge of being relegated and being dropped from the organization, but because she upskilled, a whole new department was created just for her, and she was asked to head that particular department. Okay, now, but I really want you to listen to these two people today because they are currently here as we speak. Okay, we have Esther PKZ and we have Mary Bomamba. I had already seen Mary. I saw her name pop up in the chat in the meeting just now. So let me see. Is Esther here? Is Mary here? So we can get to hear from them. Okay, Esther is here. Sorry, Mary is here. Let's see. I have Mary here. Okay, so Mary, just for a couple of minutes, I'll allow you to turn on your video and also unmute. Okay, I'll make you a co-host of this session. Just give me a second, Mary, so that people can hear from you. I want people to hear how did you. So I want people to hear how did you hear about Nebiant? How were you able to transition into getting your first tech role? So give me a second to make you a co-host. So I'm looking for your name actually in the chat. Okay, I've seen it now. Right, Mary, add as co-host. All right, so I've added you as co-host, Mary. So please feel free to turn on your video let's get to hear from you. Hi, Mary.
Hello,
Yeah, hello, Mary. Good to see you.
good to see you too. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight?
I'm also fine.
All right,
So,
fantastic.
yeah, about my experience. Last year I completed my national service. I'm in Ghana. So the national service is like the NYSC period. And I knew where I was working, we wouldn't be picked after the service. I decided to upskill because that was the only way that would help me stand out. So through the experience I got from Nivians, I got to hear of it from Instagram. Yes. So I've been following you from no, it was from a finance guy on Instagram, Shay the assistant. So he posted something about remote work, and then I was reading through the comment sections, and then I saw someone recommend Nivians, and then I saw the um, text from them. Then I decided to text and then join the program. So I joined in December, and during the period, the courses were really well taught. And the tutors today were very, very experienced and humble and really, really knowledgeable. And they had time for it too. So if you couldn't understand something taught in class, you could ask and then they will take you through it very well. Aside from that, throughout the week, you can text them, they would help you out with your problems if you have issues. And at a point, sometimes it felt overwhelming. I felt like it was too much. So I did text one of the tutors, and then she gave me a heads up and was like, it's normal. It's a bit normal for you to feel that way. So she helped me out, and then I got back on track. So I was dealing with imposter syndrome too, because I felt I wasn't good enough to apply for jobs. So for a while I wasn't applying, but then in May, yeah, late April and then May, I decided that now I had to apply for jobs because I was just staying at home. So I started applying, and then the CV formats that we were given, I used that CV format, and then with the projects that I had built, I just used them and then started applying. And luckily for me, it's like most of the jobs that I applied with that CV format and my skills, I got an interview for them. The first one that I applied, which was Sunko Academy, and I got an interview. I went, and then later on they called that I had been accepted, so I was supposed to start work. So I started work last week Monday, and if it was there that I realized that they said that for the role that
Sorry,
they were
sorry, Mary.
interviewing for,
Sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
Okay, I beg your pardon. So when did you say you started again? I want everybody to hear when did you say this?
I started last week Monday.
Okay, okay, go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. So and so far, yeah, we've been working on data, huge data sets. We've been cleaning and cleaning, and hopefully by next week we'll be done cleaning, and then we'll start with the analysis. And it was there that I realized we were told that the number of people who applied for that position, it was a lot, like over 3,000.
Over 3,000.
So over 3,000 people. So it was at that point I was like, hey, I think it's the CV format that, like, I don't know, pulled me in or something, because for over 3,000 people, and then they just needed
How is
to,
it possible that it is you they picked, right?
hey, how? It was just two people that they needed to. So I was like, I was shocked, but I didn't let them know. And the other interviews, the other two interviews, whenever I go for it, they ask me if it's like they're fascinated about their skills, especially with the Excel and then Power BI. So mostly they will be asking, oh, how confident are you in Power BI? So I realized that Power BI is kind of like necessary in almost all the companies for reporting. So the moment they see that you have some skills in those tools, they are so keen to like have you, and then just to take you in for the job. So far I'm still like I've still been called for interviews, and I even have an upcoming interview to go for right now. But then I've accepted the other job. So yeah.
These other jobs, yeah. Fantastic one, Mary. So, guys, you can hear Mary. Mary started this Monday a new role, and she's already applying the things that she learned in class. She's also actively applying, but she just told us that she's going to drop those ones. Okay, so but if Mary still needs help in the interviews that she has, Mary knows where to go. She can come to Nebiant and would help her at no extra cost. So Mary, what advice do you want to give the people before I let you go? What do you have? What advice would you give?
Okay, I would say that the imposter syndrome, you have it. Like whether I don't know, for some people maybe they might not have it, but then with me I had it. But it shouldn't stop you from applying. It shouldn't. And even if you do not get a job offer, the interview, I feel the interview gives you confidence. Like when you go, you now know what to expect from them, what questions to expect, and then prepare well for. And then when you go for the interview, to just be confident, like be really, really confident, even if you have no idea of what they said, try to maneuver around the question, and then like just add confidence to it. And I think it will help you. And apply any job, any analyst position you see, apply, be it internship, be it contract. Don't say, oh, it's not in my field, maybe I'm new, so I can't apply. Apply, just apply. You'd see that at a point you realize that the interviews will just be coming. It will just be coming, and then you go for the one that you feel like you want.
Fantastic. Mary, congratulations once again.
Thank you.
So, and I want to tell you one thing before I let you go, Mary, that if you have any issues on the job, I'm sure you know that you can always ask, you can always come back, to get help from us.
Yes.
So so that's one thing that you get, as a Nebiant community member. So congratulations once again. I really appreciate you spending time with us this evening. Okay, so yeah, fantastic. You can see everybody congratulating you. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure having you tonight.
You too.
Fantastic.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Yeah.
This is like another interview.
This is another interview. All right. Not bad. So do we have Esther now? Do we have Esther here now? So Esther can also come share her experience, and then we go on. Okay, Esther. Okay, I've spotted Esther. Esther, give me a second. Let me make you co-host so that you can turn on your video so people can see you. Thank you very much for being here. Where's Esther? Okay, I've spotted you now. All right, fantastic. Go ahead, Esther.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. How you doing? Yeah, good evening. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Okay, so Esther, you're welcome to this session. What we want to hear from you is, how was the experience? How did you hear about us? How did Nebiant impact your journey, to where you are now? So just share with us the next couple of minutes.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I I saw Nebiant Analytics. I think I saw their ad on Facebook. So there was a group. I think they were doing a free class or something, and I wasn't able to join the class. But then the day I joined, Mrs. Limwell was having like a talk on. She was explaining everything about data analysis, and the tech world. I just got interested. I'm like, okay, I've always wanted to get into tech. As okay, by the way, I didn't mention that I'm a healthcare professional, so I've always wanted to get into the tech space, but I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know, the right course to take, all of those things. So after the class that day, I decided, okay, let me just data analysis sounded like something that I've liked, so I paid for the class and I joined. That was February. So why the class was
February
booked?
this year.
Yeah, February
Was it
this year.
February this year or
Yeah,
this year?
February this year, yeah.
Okay, all right,
So
fantastic.
unfortunately, I couldn't understand anything. It was just too much. A lot of words I've never heard before, so I got confused. I reached out to Joy, one of the our class coordinator, yes, and I was complaining to her. I told her that I can't understand. I want to give up. I want to stop. I want to leave the class. That I don't understand anything. That is so much for me. And she kept encouraging me, and she told me that I can't give up now. That I should just try my best. I should put in, even if it's 2 hours every day, I can do this. I can do this. So I started paying more attention to the classes. After the class, I think we just finished last month or so. After the class, and there was something she told me. She said that when I finish, I should just be telling everybody that I'm a data analyst. So
Exactly, you should claim it.
I started telling everybody that I'm a data analyst, though. I'm a data analyst. And anybody that I'm having a conversation with, I say I'm a data analyst. So as a healthcare professional, I work in the NGO space. So, and what I do is M&E, that's monitoring and evaluation. So I saw a job role, and it was M&E analyst. I'm like, this is not what taught us in class. So
Exactly.
I applied, and fortunately for me, I got the job, and I was so excited. I was so happy. And I want to say a very big thank you to Nibiant Analytics and the tutors. Oh my God, they're always there. Anytime you come back and say, I don't know what's going on, I can't understand, they always take the patience to explain to you, and bring you back on track. So, and then I advise everybody just apply, especially if you had a background or something else. If you apply in that background, I think it's easy. I don't know. I'm just saying based on experience. So I feel like if you have a background or something, it's easier to just align what you have and put analysis, because at the end of the day, data is everywhere, right?
Exactly. Data is everywhere. Healthcare, supply chain, wherever you are, data is there. Okay, fantastic. Esther, it was a great one having you on this session this evening. Okay,
Thank
and
you
I want to
very
say big congratulations to you again, and to you also, as is to every other, Nebiant Analytics student. If you have any issues, you know where to go. Okay, we're always here for you. Okay, if anything is looking confusing at work, you can just let us know, and we'll be there to assist. All right.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank
it's a
you.
pleasure. Yeah,
Thank
it's a
you.
pleasure. All right, have a wonderful night, Esther.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you've heard from the horse's mouth. You've heard from the horse's mouth. Do you want to hear from more people, or you want me to tell you how to get into the program? Okay. Do you want to hear from more people, or at this point, how do you get into the program? Which one do you want? Because guess what? There are more people. Okay, there are more. If it's more people you want, there are plenty. Naomi is one person. I told you about Naomi already. Okay, this is Naomi. All right, this is Naomi. She got a promotion. A new department was created because of her. Okay, let me show you another person. This is Grace. Okay, Grace, her own company tried to ignore her. Okay, and then they lost her. to another company who was willing to, take her in. This is Lebura Olawale. Okay, she posted this Excel dashboard on LinkedIn, and that was her own story. 3 weeks into the program, just 3 weeks. This lady you are seeing on my screen. Okay, and that is not even all. All right. So just before I tell you how to get into the program exactly, let me tell you some of the things that Esther, Mary, and all the people that I've talked about, what they got apart from just the technical training. Okay, and that is what we call Nebiant extra layered employability support. And what this includes are these on my screen. Number one is the weekly mentorship. You undergo weekly mentorship sessions. Every week we'll keep on encouraging you on how to get a job. We'll talk about how to introduce yourself in an interview, how to answer tricky questions in an interview, and the likes. You also have CV assessment and job matching. Mary spoke about the CV formats that we gave her. If you were listening very carefully, you remember Mary mentioned it. That is it right there. You have LinkedIn profile revamp. You need to go and check them out. Those two people that spoke, please check them out on LinkedIn and send them a request. Okay, go and check them out on LinkedIn and send them a request. Okay, so you can see what we helped them to do on their LinkedIn. And then you have Upwork profile. Upwork is a platform where you can get US remote jobs, predominantly working in for organizations in the US remotely from Nigeria. And then afterwards, this is where it gets interesting, and I want you to focus on this. At the beginning of my session, if you were here, I mentioned that we are a premium tech training program, and for that reason, we offer some lifetime services. Listen to this: lifetime services, meaning just by enrolling alone, you get these lifetime services to yourself. Lifetime interview preparation. So anytime you get an interview, be it during the program or after, come to us, we'll prepare you. You have a lifetime access to all your training materials. Okay. You also have a 1 month internship and a lifetime access to recommendation letters. Recruiters would ask you for recommendation letters. And then you also have what we call a lifetime alumni mentorship. This is new. We just started this, okay, and we launched it this month, okay? Lifetime alumni mentorship, meaning that we'll meet with you regularly, even after the program has ended. No other training program will do this for you. I can beat my chest that there is no other training program besides Nebiant Analytics in Africa that will do this for you, all right? So these are reasons why you should get on the program, and get yourself skilled. Okay, Helen Okai, I personally prepared her recommendation letter. For her when she got an offer working as a junior marketing analyst. Okay, so these are real people that pass through our program. It's a 3-month program, 1 month internship. Your classes are predominantly during the weekends, Saturdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You would work on real-world case studies. Okay. Now on Sunday you get audio videos. This is not a class. It's a self-paced video that prepares you ahead of the next Saturday when you're going to come work on a real-world case study that will form part of your portfolio. Okay. Now Tuesdays and Thursdays, which are weekdays, you'd have sessions but not actual classes. On Tuesdays 9 to 10 p.m. is like a follow-up to your class. Okay, so if you have any questions or any complaints regarding any aspect of the program, you enter into that session Tuesday evening and you get everything sorted out, so you don't carry it over to the next week. And then on Thursdays you have your mentorship sessions 9 to 10 p.m. Okay, so that's the schedule. All right, and the full course brochure is here. And there are even more testimonials. But you guys want to know how to get into the program, right? You want to know how to get into the next cohort starting 9th of June. Am I correct? You want to get into the program 9th of June. I want to speak to only people who are interested in starting their own journey with me 9th of June. Okay, and there is a spoiler. You know, when they want to release a movie, you used to have a spoiler. You know what the spoiler is? Okay, like you know, a teaser. Let's put it that way. All right. So the spoiler here is that for the first 10 people that are going to join tonight, that are going to enroll tonight, listen. I want you to listen well. There's a reason I'm saying this, because I'm going to choose only 10 people, only the first 10 people. Because I know people will come and say, oh, please, can you add me? I've enrolled now. Please, can you add me to that thing you said you want to do? I will only work with 10 people. Okay? Just 10. Now, for the first 10 people to register tonight, okay, I'm going to have an exclusive session with them on Tuesday evening, Tuesday 27th, 8 p.m. I'm going to have an exclusive session, and in that session, I will teach you how to get the latest jobs without ever having to search for it. You will not have to go and be searching for jobs on LinkedIn. You'll get it automatically. The jobs will come to you. And all you need to do is to apply. You can focus on applying and not searching. Number 2 is I'll teach you how to create LinkedIn posts without thinking. You won't need to think. You will not need to think, and you create posts effortlessly. So if this is something that is interesting to you, this is an extra, mind you. So if you find this interesting, guys, ensure that you are part of the first 10 people. Now, the question is, how do you get part of it? How do you become part of the first 10 people? That's the question. Now, data analytics, data science, business analysis, the flat rate of the program is 250,000, okay? Depending on the program you choose. So if you choose data analytics, 250,000, okay? Now, this 250,000, you can pay it once, you can pay twice, you can split it into 2, pay twice. But guess what? If you want to pay in 4 installments, it is possible. But this is how you do it. With 30,000 naira tonight, you secure a spot for yourself. And that's all you need to do to be part of the first 10 people that I was talking about. With 30,000 tonight, you secure a seat, we note your name down, and you are part of the first 10 people to get that extra that I talked about. Okay. Now, once you've done that, okay, once you've done the 30,000 naira, for you to then start with the June cohort, all you need to do is to top up with 55,000 naira, and then in total that becomes 85 that you've paid. That makes you eligible to start the next cohort in June. 1 month into the program, you then top up with 85,000 naira total. That becomes 170,000, and then 2 months into the program, you top up with the final part of the payment, which is 80,000, and every single offering that I've talked about, including all of the lifetime services that I talked about, you become eligible. For you to do this, you can do a direct bank transfer to our bank account at Nebiant Analytics 0098999047 Sterling Bank. Once you're done with that, you can send me a DM and I will personally enroll you into the program. Okay, 0703-215-8619, or simply send a WhatsApp message to any of the phone numbers you can see on the screen right now with the proof of payment. As we are speaking, if you're part of the first 10 people to send me a DM with the proof of payment, you automatically would be scheduled for the session holding on the 27th, which is an exclusive session, okay, for just the first 10 people that will be enrolling tonight. Okay, so all you need to do now, with 30,000 naira, you can get enrolled into the program and also get that extra that I talked about for the 27th of May. Okay, so if you've done that, you can indicate in the chat and let me congratulate you. After the session, I'll reply to your message. I can see some DMs already. So congratulations if you are the one that has sent me a DM. So once we are off this session, I would Oladejo, congratulations, fantastic. Ensure to send me a DM, please, so that I can enroll you into the program. 0703-215-8619. The duration of the program is 3 months, and you have a 1 month internship after that. So in total, 4 months. All right. So now I'm going to allow people to raise their hand. If you want to ask me a question, use the raise hand icon, and I'll allow you. I'll call your name, and then you can unmute, and I would answer your questions. Okay, so use the raise hand icon. I'm going to call you in order of how you raise your hand. So this is the raise hand icon. Okay, is it all online? Yes, it is all online. Okay, and the reason we have it fully online is because we are able to reach people like Mary. Okay, so Mary, for example, she got a job in Ghana. All right, so we're able to reach our African brothers and sisters, and they're able to work remotely. Okay, all right, you're able to work remotely. Chris Tabel, your classes are mainly during the weekends. Okay, so during the weekdays, it's just support sessions that you have just for you to come ask questions, and also mentorship sessions. Okay, but the classes itself hold during the weekend, where you work on real-world projects based off the experience of the experts you'll be working with. All right, Christabel, I hope you have sent me a DM already as well. So who wants to ask a question? Ikechukwu Emmanuel, your hand is up, please. You can unmute your mic and ask me your question. Hi, Ikechukwu, you want to unmute your mic and ask me a question? Are the three courses held together or separately? So you choose one, okay? There are 3 different career paths. If you join my session, you would already know that there are 3 different career paths. You choose one, you enroll, and then we get you a seat, and you get to be part of the 10 people I'll be working with on Tuesday. All right, for the data analytics class, how many courses or modules would you be teaching? Everything is in the brochure, Princess. All right, all you need to do is all you need to do is to fill out the attendance form. Okay, once you fill out the attendance form, my slides would be sent to you, and you can see the brochure inside. Okay, the link to the brochure is there. You just click on it and you see everything. All right. So since Ikechukwu is not speaking yet, Chinedu, do you want to go ahead, please? Go ahead and speak. Okay, Michael is asking, is it possible?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yeah, please. Just before I continue, I thank you for this wonderful opportunity. And just like you also mentioned, I've already done my own. I did 85,000. So, but I think the phone that I'm using is hasn't given me a bit of an issue to follow up promptly on virtually everything that you're saying, because I'm currently on the road. I'm going home like this. So maybe when I settle down, I will find a way to send you a DM. I don't know whether there is any attachments to this session that we can directly send directly send our maybe receipts to or something, so that we can be added, as you said.
All right.
So, and also, my major question is for the data analytics. The session, is it since you said it would be a weekend thing that will be happening on Saturdays. I don't know whether I don't really know how engaging it would be. I don't really know, because the last one I did, not with your company, with another company, trying to follow up, it is almost like the session is pre how will I put it? Like they've recorded the session, and then it's like they are sending the session to even ask questions is a problem and stuff like that. So I don't know how engaging this one would be.
All right. So All right, fantastic. So this is how it works. On Saturdays, you'd have, and I'm presenting it on my screen right now. On Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for that 3 hours, you'll be working on real world projects. You have an expert on the call, like myself, just the way we are right now. They'll share their screen and walk you through. Now, these are highly trained experts. They work with at least 2 screens. So the screen they are sharing, and then a screen to monitor the class. So if you raise your hand, for example, just the way I am able to see that your hand was raised and I engaged you, that's how interactive the class will be. You will be able to ask questions. The only reason they may not acknowledge your hand as at the point you raised it is because they are trying to make a point. And once they make that point, they'll go back to you and they will be able to answer the question. Now, the class, as you are attending the classes on Saturdays, it will be recorded for future purpose. Okay? Not for us, but for you especially, because you may need to go back to the class just in case you want to get something. Now, that's Saturday. On Sundays, you have what we call DID videos. These are preparatory videos that you use to keep yourself busy through the week ahead of the next class. So they prepare you ahead of the next class. So when you come to the next class, you are able to also participate in the real world, problems that you'll be solving in class. All right, because the classes are on Saturdays. Saturdays purely for working on real projects. All right, so now, and that's your weekend. Now during the week, we'll check in. We have something like a support session. Okay, I call it the support session. Now this support session is 9 to 10 p.m. when you are a lot relaxed, you are back home, you're freshened up. So if you have any complaints, either from the DID videos or from the previous class, your facilitator will be there to answer any questions that you have. If there are also presentations, this is the time you also do the presentations. Okay, and then on Thursdays, 9 to 10 p.m. in the evening, you'll have your mentorship session. All right. So this is where we get to, talk about some of the things that are outside the technical aspect of your training. So I muted your mic because of the background noise. So that's pretty much what it is. Okay. So does that answer your question?
Yes. So the next one is what of how I will share my receipt, like my receipt for payments. How do I do that?
All right. All you need to do is to take down my number 0703.
Wait. I didn't get that number.
Okay. I'll put it. If I put it in the chat, you should be able to copy it easily. If you're looking at your phone right now, you'd see my number pop up. So that's my number 0703 215 8619. Did you get it? Or more easily, you can just message any of the admins in the community that you are in. Okay, in the Nebians community that you are in, just check for any of the admins, send them a DM, and they'll respond. Okay, so 0703 Chinedu, did you get that? 0703 215 8619. Sent it again. Your mic is muted in case you are speaking. Okay, fantastic. That's good. All right, so let's move to BJive official. Okay, probably name of your firm. So if you've sent me a DM, I would respond after the session. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
So what I just wanted to ask was what is the ratio of remote jobs that are available for data analysts, scientists, and business analysts?
What is the ratio of what? Can you say that again, please? Sorry.
Like how common are remote jobs, like fully remote jobs? Is it a field that has a lot of remote jobs available, or is mostly on-site jobs? Like what's the remote jobs that are available for data analysts?
All right, very good question. Let's quickly go to LinkedIn so you see it for yourself. Okay, now this is LinkedIn. All right, if you are wondering, this was Esther that just spoke to us earlier. This is Esther. Okay, this is our LinkedIn. You can see how neat the LinkedIn is, and you can see her portfolio. Okay, so recruiters can actually see our portfolio by clicking on that link. So this is Esther's project portfolio. Okay, so visit Esther's page. You can see some of the projects she worked on. So, but what your question is, data analyst, right? So let's look for data analyst roles, okay, and see what it looks like. So let's see the ratio, putting it in your own words. So now, data analyst, and then after it searches, I would click on jobs. Just give me a second. I'll click on jobs. Okay, I'll click on jobs. And that's not where I would end. You can see currently now is 14,000 open roles as of right now in EMEA. EMEA is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And that's what you want to set as your location when searching for jobs. Okay, you don't want to limit yourself to your locality alone. Okay, there are remote roles. You can see this one now, senior data analyst remote, anywhere you are, you can work for this particular company. So, but what I want to do, let me filter to remotes because you asked for remote. So you can see there are 2K plus results for remote, 2,523 open remote roles right now for data analysts. Okay, 2,532 results. If you divide that by 30, okay, 30 days, 2,523 divided by 30, you need to apply to at least 84 jobs in a day to be able to cover all these jobs. Is that possible in a month? Trust me, that's not. So such is the demand of these roles. Same thing, you can search business analyst, search, this is business analyst, okay? Search them, you get very similar, kind of results. Okay, this is 715, which is still quite high when you look at the absolute number. 715 open roles. This one was posted when 11 hours ago. Okay, that was today, earlier today. This one was posted yesterday. This one, okay, I viewed this, was posted 2 days ago. Okay, this particular one. Let's look at this. This one was posted 3 weeks ago, for example. This one was posted 1 month ago, 1 day ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. So these are recent jobs, 5 days ago, 1 day ago, 1 week ago, 3 days ago, 39 minutes ago. We were in this session when this particular job was posted. Okay, it's a remote role, 39 minutes ago. So such is the demand for the role, and and that's the reason why we even picked this career path to start with. Okay, so although your audio was a little bit breaking, but I hope I was able to answer a question, PJ.
Yes, thank you.
All right, fantastic. So have you, I think you have sent me a DM if I'm correct, but I'm not sure. Have you already sent me a DM?
Yes, I'll send you a DM.
All right, fantastic. So you've sent me a DM already. Once I'm done with the chat, with the meeting here, I would respond to you. Okay. Let's see who is the next person who has a question. Emmanuel. So for Ikechukwu Emmanuel, please type your question in the chat. Okay, is it possible I pay in June, say full payment if I'm financially buoyant at that time? While that is possible, okay, you won't stand a chance to be part of the 10 people that I'll be working with on Tuesday, okay, in the exclusive employability session I'll be having. That's one. Number two is that you may come in June and our prices have changed. Okay, that's a huge possibility. In fact, you can go to our website right now. You won't see 250,000 naira there. What you see there is 320,000, and that's the price we're considering for the month of June. So my candid advice, Ikechukwu, would be find a way to secure your discount now. Okay, then you have nothing to lose. Okay, by doing it now and everything to win. So find a way, secure it now. Let's start work with you. All right. So who is next? Emmanuel. Emmanuel, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, good evening. How are you
Please,
doing?
I'm fine. I'm calling in from Akwa Ibom.
Fantastic. Good to have you here.
It's what I wanted to ask because basically I don't have a full knowledge on how to use the tools
Yeah.
that you make mention earlier on.
Mhm.
So I wanted to ask, like somebody like me want to come into the whole platform, how will I go when I don't have the knowledge on how to use those tools?
Fantastic. Guess what? It's people like you that actually register for our program, okay, and they move on to get jobs. Mary was like that. Esther that spoke also in the session was like that. If you were here when they spoke, all right. You don't need any prior experience. What I tell people is this: the what you need to know before joining our program is how to browse with a laptop. Can you go to the internet, for example? If I tell you, oh, can you search for the hibiscus flower on the internet and send me a picture of it? If you are able to do that, let me even ask you, are you able to do that? You can go to
Yes,
the
yes.
internet. Fantastic, you don't have any problem. Okay, you are a superstar already. All right. So go ahead and enroll with your full chest and let's help you out. Okay.
All right.
All right, fantastic. Let it be this night, Emmanuel, because I'm sure you'll be part of the first 10 people if you do it right now that I'll be working with on Tuesday. Okay, with for the what's it called now? The exclusive employability training, where I'll show you how to set up job alerts. You will never need to search for jobs. You get it into your email automatically. And then also how to create LinkedIn posts without thinking. All right. So you get that extra just from me. It's not a Nebiant package, it's from me giving it to people who register tonight. Okay.
Okay.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so I'll be expecting your DM, Emmanuel. I hope you have my contact noted.
I have.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's move to Chukwuemeka Rex. Chukwuemeka, you are free to unmute and speak.
Okay, hi, good evening. Good evening, sir. I don't know if you can hear me.
Loud and clear, please.
Okay. So thank you for this great opportunity. Appreciate big time. So I have a question, yeah.
Okay.
Turns out that I I mean, I just newly transitioned into tech. But what I started with at the time was I had a certificate for copywriting, and then I moved on from there to get one for PM, product management. And the reason why I chose that in the first place is because I consulted with someone who was already a practicing data analyst. Like she was doing that already. And I was seeking advice because, to be honest, academically, I
Mhm.
wasn't a calculation person. I wasn't so bright when it comes to mathematics and anything that has to do with calculations. So the advice he gave to me was that if I'm not a good mathematician, if I don't know how to go about calculations and all of those things, that I shouldn't look towards data, analytics or anything in that sense. And I mean, here I am looking at it, and it's looking like sometimes when she shares, like, the spreadsheets and
Mhm.
everything, it looks like I'm looking up like a bunch of, Arabic words and all. Yeah, so
All right.
it was that intense. So the question I want to ask is this: for someone, in my own case, or I mean, generally, yeah, is there anything at all? I mean, if you're going to be honest, like, do you think would be a setback for anyone at all who wants to go into data analytics? I mean, the way you described it now to the
Yeah.
person's question you just answered was like saying pick up my phone and then download a picture from the internet. Like, is it really that easy, or is
Yeah.
there more to it?
Okay.
So that's
Very
my
good
question.
question. Yeah, very good question. And to answer your question, yeah, I'll share you a very short one experience that I had back when I was in secondary school. Okay. Guess what? I was very good at further mathematics. I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. I was very good at further mathematics, okay, but I barely passed my chemistry. And if you tell me what was the difference in these two subjects, it was my class teacher. The subject teacher was the problem. Okay. So when you ask people, how did you get into tech? Most people who are self-taught would likely tell you that, look, you can't do it. Most people who are self-taught, they found their way, they took maybe like 1 year, 2 years learning on their own before they finally broke into tech, to tell you, look, it's impossible for you. You need to be dead good. Now, but if you see somebody, okay, like Esther and Mary that spoke in this session, that joined our program and now they've gotten jobs. These are people who, I think that was Esther. Esther is a healthcare professional, nothing to do with mathematics. Okay, now works as an M&E analyst. So that goes to show the quality of experts that worked with Esther to achieve that goal. So rather than looking at, oh, I'm not good at mathematics, all right, look at the fact that, okay, who's going to be working with me on this journey? If you're going to be self-learning, I'll tell you, just like the way the data analyst who you asked the question told you, I'll tell you, if you are not good at maths, don't go near it. Okay, but if you're going to be getting premium help from Navient Analytics, for example, with your full chest, go for it. All right, go for it. You don't need mathematics. Actually, you don't actually need mathematics, because you're not coming here to learn a formula or an equation. Oh, this is equal to this divided by that. You're not going to write exams where they'll be asking you to calculate this and that. You are solving actual problems. Okay, and maybe at this point I need to show you guys what the class looks like. Let me just take you to the class. Okay, so you see what it looks like. So maybe that will give a little bit of more context to what you'll be doing in class. So for the data analytics program, let me take you to the most recent data analytics program. All right, data analytics. Now, this is the May cohort. They started this month in May, and as you can see, they have just a few things in their class. This is the class they attended today. Earlier today, you can see this is the login detail, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sorry about that, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. They attended this class today. Guess what? This is the class material. Let me show you what the class material looks like, so you can see for yourself what you'll be doing in class, whether it is mathematics or it is biology or it is English. So let's look at it together. Now, this is Excel for analytics. That's the facilitator, Ayobami, who's taking the class, and it is a case study. When I say case study, a business problem that you'll be solving. So data analysis and sales report for Walmart continued, meaning it's a project they've been working on from the previous class. So the background is that Walmart, as you already know, because they've been working on it from in the previous class, is a large US-based retail chain specializing in electronics, accessories, peripherals. The management team has tasked you as the data analyst with analyzing their sales data to derive insights on performance, customer behavior, and product trends. Your analysis will help them make data-driven decisions to optimize their sales strategy, improve customer satisfaction, and boost productivity. Your objective: use Excel functions to analyze sales performance, including revenue, profit, and discount trend. Understand customer behavior by evaluating loyalty status and project. All of these are English, all right? But you would get into the class and actually perform some tasks. You have the data set with you. Okay, this is the data set. You click to download and you would walk right on the data set, under the guidance of the facilitator. Now, let me show you what the recording looks like. So this is a class that just happened today. So the recording of this class will still be posted. But let me take you to a previous class so you see the recording. This is the first Excel class, for example. This is the class recording. So as you are attending the class will be recorded for future purposes so that you can go to it. We don't need it, you need it. So we keep it here for you and you have a lifetime access to it. So even after your program has ended, you can come back and relive the session. Let me show you what it looks like. All right, let me quickly show you what it looks like. So you may not be able to hear the audio because I'm not sharing audio right now. Okay, but just a quick share. You can see that's the professional wearing a red like myself, working with you in class, Ayobami. So let me just move it forward. Now the class is so engaging that the facilitator is sharing screen and ensuring that you are following with them. So if you get lost at any point, all you need to do is to raise your hand the same way you raised it in this session, or you can type in the chat with a question. All right, you can type in the chat with a question and they would answer. These are highly trained remote professionals who are experts in this kind of setting. So you have every support that you need. The question is, do you want us to help you? Do you want us to work with you? So that's the real question. So forget about the mathematics. You don't need that. Okay. You don't need that. All right. I've seen doctors that have gone on to even become data scientists. Okay. So you don't need mathematics. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. So would that be a yes, as in you have secured your slot, or you are going to go ahead and secure it after now? You wanted to ask that question.
Okay, I think I'll do it after now. Need to
Okay, fantastic.
secure a couple of things here.
Okay, so once you do that, send me a DM. Please send me a DM so that after the session, I'll start respond to you, and then show you through the next step of enrollment. Okay.
All right, sure thing. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so I have 3 minutes in this session. Can I take everybody's question? Let's try. Ahmad Nuhu, go ahead, please, with your question. Or before you go with your question, Ahmad, please give me a second. I think I have some questions in the chat box. Let me see. Let me see. I hope there is a lot of maths in data science, because it would make it much fun. I heard there is regression. Another Ikechukwu on the other hand likes mathematics. Okay. So, all right, no problem. That's fine. Okay, you would enjoy yourself. Don't worry. Okay, you would enjoy yourself. That if it's about enjoying yourself, don't worry about that. You would enjoy yourself. Okay, so that's fine. Which of these is suitable for big data and data science technology? Of course, data science. Esther, data science is the most suitable for that. Okay. Is it possible to secure a job within a month of training? Absolutely. Deborah Olawale did it. I showed you this lady. Let me show you. She did it. Hers was 3 weeks into the program. If you look at it, this particular post, she made it on LinkedIn 3 weeks into the program. This was her 3rd class with Nebient Analytics. She posted this particular dashboard on LinkedIn, and the recruiter reached out to her and she got the job. So if your question is it possible? Of course, it's possible. Somebody has done it before. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. So Ahmad Nuhu, let's go ahead, please.
Hello, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good
Can
evening.
you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. So far I'll say I'm convinced with whatever I heard from the beginning of the class till now.
Yeah.
So I just have a few questions.
All right.
Okay. So would there be a certificate? I'm not sure I heard about certification from the beginning of the class?
Very good question. So I deliberately did not talk about certificates, even if you will be given a certificate at the end of the program. And the reason I didn't talk about certificates is very simple. Just like the other this particular lady that I talked about, 3 weeks into the program, she got a job. She didn't have any certificate with that at the point she got the job. Who else was that? This young man here, where is he? Oluwaseun. He got a job after. So this also happened about Oluwaseun. Let me tell you what happened with Oluwaseun, because his own case is even very interesting. Oluwaseun had registered to join the program, and just the way I gave an extra, where I told you, if you are part of the first 10 people to register, I would give you an extra even before the class starts. So he enjoyed something like that as at the point he was registered for the program, and even before he started class, meaning he did not have a certificate from Navient Analytics as at that time, he got a job because of that session that he attended before the actual class started. So, and that's the reason why I didn't bother mentioning certificates, but yes, you would get a certificate at the end of the program. Okay, does that answer your question? You said you have a couple.
Yes, it does. I'll just rush through the questions. So secondly, data analysis and data science. I don't know which is more marketable, because it's like I'm finding it difficult making a decision to pick.
All right. So now here is it. And my answer is most times easily misunderstood. So I want you to listen to me very attentively. Now, data science versus data analytics, which one has more opportunities out there? It is data analytics. But what is the amount of opportunity you have as a data scientist? Now, for a data scientist, if you are looking to get a job as a data scientist, on a daily basis, you have around 1,000 new roles that are being uploaded. Okay, 1,000 for a data analyst. You could have like double that amount. Okay, but can you apply to 1,000 jobs within a day? That's the real question. And when you compare data science to other tech career paths, it is much easier to get into data science than other tech career paths. So when you compare data analytics to data science, that may be a little bit biased when you don't look at the space generally. Okay, so the reason we included data science is because when you compare the absolute number, when I say absolute number, that's the actual number of open roles you have on a daily basis. The opportunities out there are enormous. Okay, 1,000 is easily a huge number, but when you compare 1,000 to like 2,000, 3,000, you may start to see 1,000 as small. Okay, so that's the reality. Now, I do not want you to choose a career path based on the fact that, one is 1,000, the other one is 2,000. All right, you want to choose something that you chose it because this is what I want to do. Okay, and you have all the help that you need. All right, so even as a data scientist, so this is the interesting part. Even as a data scientist, if you know how to strategize well, which we will teach you how to do, you can apply to some kind of data analyst roles. Now, this is not to say that data scientists can replace data analysts. No, that's not what I mean. But if you know how to tie your camel, you would be able to do what I just said. Okay, so I hope I answered your question, Ahmad.
Yes. So to my last question, about securing the slots tonight. So if I make a payment of 30,000 naira, does that secure my slots?
Absolutely, that's it. Absolutely, that secures a seat for you, just as it's written here. Okay, it secures a seat for you.
Another 55,000 within should it be paid within this month or next month?
Yeah,
I
before the
kind of
class starts.
before.
Yeah, before the class starts. So the class starts in June 9th. So before the class starts, you just make the top up and then you start the class. Okay. Now, if for some reason, because you may be wondering, oh, what if I'm not able to meet up, right? So if for some reason you are not able to meet up with June 9th, all you need to do now is during the enrollment process, you indicate that you want to start with the next cohort in July. So there is a cohort starting every new month. Okay, we have people who have secured their spot to start, I think, in August, in fact. So what those people get, different from people that actually wait till that time to secure or to join the program, is that if you come that time and you've not booked a slot beforehand, you would have to work with the current price as at that time. So if our prices are, let's say, 350K as at that time, that's the new price you'd have to work with. But if you have secured a spot before then it is the price point as at the time you secure the spot that would work with you on. Okay, so you can actually secure a spot now, and then you just indicate that you want to start in July. That gives you another full month to sort yourself out, and you won't have any issues. How does that sound to you?
Thank you very much. You've answered all my questions.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so am I expecting your DM then?
Well, I have to think about it.
You still want to think about it? What do you want to think about?
Money wise.
Is it? I'm trying to understand. Do you want to think about how you make the money, or you want to think about whether you should join or not?
I'm thinking about how to make the money.
Okay, all right. How long would that be then? How long would you need?
Well, I wouldn't know yet. I won't be able to decide for now.
That's a little bit dicey. Okay, it's a little bit dicey. Let me tell you the reason why. Now, do you know the opposite of action? Do you know what the opposite of action is? You say inaction. Right? You say inaction or reaction. Okay, whichever one you choose, that's wrong. The opposite of taking action is delay. Okay, the opposite of action is delay, and what you are delaying is not just registering for the program, but actually getting results. I've talked about people who got jobs 1 month into the program. Some got jobs at the point where they were ending the program. So the longer you delay, the longer you're actually delaying that success. Okay, so and I wouldn't want you to do that. Time is of the essence. So find a way, okay? Find a way tonight, Ahmad. I know you can make it work. Find a way, secure that spot, and let's put that one behind us so we move ahead from there. Okay?
All right, thank you very much.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so I'll be expecting your DM then. Let me see. Who else do I have? Let me take questions from the chat box before I take the hands again. Garba is asking, please, I came late. What's the difference between data science and data analytics? I don't know which one to go for. Also, can we get the video record of this session? And on what platform can someone get a job? Is it like Upwork? Thanks. So Garba, you missed a lot. I won't lie to you, you missed a lot. And the best thing I can do for you, Garba, is this. So you can do two things. You need to fill out the attendance form if you haven't yet. That's the first thing. Fill out the attendance form. The second thing is send me an email, Garba, Muhammad@nebians.com. Okay, let's connect, let's talk about extensively about the program and the likes. Okay, and then we can go on from there. Let's see. Martinez is asking, apart from the tools earlier mentioned, what other tools do we need? Laptops or phones? With what and what? Okay, very good question, Martinez. What you need is a laptop, okay? Because on the job you need a laptop, and what you're doing here are real-world case studies. So you need the same laptop to actually learn it. So you need a laptop, you need an internet connection. If you are in this session now, it means you have internet connection and also power. So if you have these three things, and of course your determination. Okay, if you have those four things, your laptop, internet, power, and determination, you're good to go. All right, I hope that answers your question. All right. So let me see who else. Okay, so that's Chinedu. I thought I spoke with Chinedu before, but Chinedu, you can go ahead, please.
Yeah, good evening once again.
All right.
You spoke with me while I was still on the road then, so I am a bit settled now.
Oh,
Yeah, just like some of the persons that spoke earlier mentioned, I am an engineer, an electromechanical engineer. So most of our work in the industry doesn't really show. What I mean by it doesn't really show is picking a career path for someone in engineering and probably maybe someone in admin. The person in admin grows faster than an engineer. You get? So that is because we tend not to project data of things that we do in engineering sector. It is not maybe an oversight. It is just how it is. Because before I joined engineering, it has been like that, and most times it continues to be like that, except now that things like world-class manufacturing is now ramping up in other parts of the world, and it's now been coming down to Africa now. Now, in cases like this, when you want to even convince your management that you really needed this, one will want to ask you, of what value is it to this business? Like when I invest this 1 naira to what you are saying, what will really come out of that 1 naira? That is the more reason why I wanted to join this program. Now, but the thing is, I have also filled out the attendance form, and I filled for data analytics. But after I came back to this platform now, and I saw data science, I saw business analysis. Now I really want to know what business analysis is all about. I really want to know. And if you can help me explain them, not from the angle of how many jobs are being posted in a day, but from the angle of what really a data scientist do. Are there more for a data science outside this platform? Because there are such that you would need to buy extra tools to like work with. You will need to like maybe buy extra materials to like work with. But there are some that maybe after the end of this program, the person is at least good to go. Then it is when you needed maybe more developments, you can now still acquire more things to like work on them. I have also heard of things like maybe I think data engineer or so, something like that. I think I heard something like that. But for these three now, can you please give a broader view of who is a data scientist and what they do, a data analytics and what they do, a business analysis, analytics and what they do also.
All right. So I'll go ahead and answer the first question that you placed. So of what relevance is data analytics in engineering? If I invest, how is it going to show? First off, I am also an engineer, a mechanical engineer, and that's why when you mentioned that you are an electromechanical engineer, I smiled. Okay, so we are kind of in this together. Okay, so now looking at this, okay, when I look back at my experience as a data analyst, even with my engineering degree, I've been able to work with HR, I've worked with supply chain, I've worked with automotive, I've worked with oil and gas, I've worked with finance without any degree in this aspect that I've mentioned. So by having the skills that you have, first off, you are valuable to your organization beyond just engineering that you're currently doing. Of course, within engineering, you have what you call maintenance, you know, and all of that stuff. Okay, so what in that aspect, in as much as there is data, okay, of course it could be analyzed and you could dig out, you know, fantastic insights from this data using your data analytics skills. But beyond that, you are relevant to the HR. You can analyze people data. You are relevant to the financial department within your organization. Okay, to start with, you can actually, you know, start to become relevant there, and across several departments. So, and that's my response to, you know, you being relevant. And this is coming from also personal experience. You really don't need to have maybe a specific kind of degree to be able to work, you know. And one thing about engineers, I say this because I'm also an engineer. All right. Engineers can survive anywhere. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? Engineers can survive anywhere. Anywhere you put an
Yeah.
exactly. So they are able to survive anywhere. Okay, so and that's the reality of the situation. Now, you mentioned at least 4 career paths: business analysis, data science, data engineering, and even data analytics, because that was what you feel for. Now, let me start with business analyst. I call them the translator. Okay, and see a business analyst as a middleman. So you have an organization, let's say like Jumia, for example, and Jumia says, "Oh, I've hired you as a business analyst. Come and be relevant to us." So what you want to do with Jumia is this. Jumia may tell you something like, "Oh, currently it takes us 7 days to deliver products to customers upon making payments. We want to reduce it from 7 days to 5 days within the next 3 months. Help us do that." As a business analyst, the first thing you want to do is to get into the organization and ensure that every single stakeholder within that has anything to do with that goal. And when I say stakeholders, the customers, the developers who are, you know, building the website or the application, logistics, every single stakeholder is aligned to that goal. Everybody's working towards that goal. That's your job as a business analyst. Okay, and everything regarding documentation, leading the team, monitoring, and anything that has to do with that particular project will become your purview and your duty. So that's who a business analyst is. And a business analyst is also required to be able to handle data, maybe not up to the level of a data analyst, but to a reasonable level as well. Now, a data scientist, the job of a data scientist is to predict into the future. Okay, so they build AI models that help predict into the future based on past data, and whatever information that or whatever results the predictive model gives the data scientist is in charge of interpreting the results to make sense to stakeholders. Okay, and that's why I call data scientist as you are not a coder, you are actually a problem solver as a data scientist. So people run away from data science because it has Python. Guess what? You are not a coder. Good thing is you have AI there for you, and you can focus on the problem rather than thinking about the Python codes to write. Now, for data analysts, of course, data analysts, their job is to go into the organization, pick the data of the company, summarize it, and tell the company what has happened. And then based on that information, you know, insights could be generated and decisions could be made to drive the company forward. All right. So for data engineering, it's a different ballgame entirely. Now, when you get into an organization, data moves from point A to B. Okay. A typical organization would have a single source of truth where the data will be located, and it is the job of the data engineer to give access to that single sort of truth. So they create what you call data pipelines. They orchestrate and automate these pipelines so that, think of it like a water tank full of data, and then there's a plumber, laying the pipes to different parts of the organization, right? So that laying of the pipe and managing the flow of data through the company is the job of a data engineer. Okay. Now, data engineering is an emerging, career path. Okay. Also heavily invested in coding. So if you don't mind coding, then data engineering is something you should, look at. Okay, but a lot of people misinterpret data engineering just because it has engineering at the back. Um, it's a different kind of engineering, all right. So, but these are the responses to the question that you asked. Okay, I tried to be as brief as possible because of time, but I hope I was able to answer your questions, Chineke.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I think that's all
All
for
right.
now. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. So based on what I've said so far, which one are you going with? Are you sticking to data analytics that you know?
Yeah, so I'm sticking to data analytics.
All right, fantastic. That's a very good thing. Okay, because
Uh,
that was how I started as well. All right, so I started with data analytics, and then I went into data science, and I've had the opportunity to work with so many business analysts to the point that I can function as a business analyst myself. So such is what experience will do for you as well, with time. So I'll be expecting to see your DM if you haven't sent it already.
I've done
Uh,
that. I've sent it already.
okay, okay, fantastic. I'll be responding to you after the session. All right, so I can see more hands up. Let's see. Okay, Garba, I think I've answered the question in the chat. Or is there anything else you want to mention? Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So I'm not sure if you're one of the people I've received DMs from, but if you are, I would respond after the session has ended. So I'll just take the next two people.
That DM.
Okay, all right. So Adex Store and Saleh, I would take your questions and call it a night tonight. Okay. I think
Sorry,
tonight's session.
how do I send that DM?
Can you say that again? Sorry, please. Or you can just type it in the chat, Garba, so that I can get what you said. I'm not sure I heard the last thing you said. But Adex Store, you can go ahead and ask a question, and let's start to wrap up for tonight.
Hello.
Can I ask my question?
Right.
I want to ask my question.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so the site I got this link said it's going to be free for a while.
Can you say that again, please?
Are you with me, sir?
Yeah, I'm with you.
The site where I got the advert from said
Yes.
it's going to be free. And even if it's not going to be free, it's roughly 250,000 naira I'm seeing on the board. It's kind of on the high side for me, despite the fact that I have interest in the class, but I don't know. Is there a section for people like us?
Okay. All right. Okay. Very good question. Adex Store. So I'm saying Adex Store because that's what I can see on your on
I'm a businesswoman who just
profile.
want to help my CV.
All right.
Yes, I'm a
All right,
business
fantastic.
person.
So
That's the name of my store.
Okay, fantastic.
You can just
That
call me
makes
Ade.
sense. All right.
Yes.
All right, no problem, no problem. So now this particular session that you are in is free. Okay, you didn't need to pay anything to be here. So that's one. Number two, I'm not sure which site you were, but if you had gone to our site, you will not even see 250,000. What you see there is 320,000 naira. Okay, so consider this a price slash from what's on our website. Now, number three is this. If you don't have money to register or the money is on the high side for you and the likes, now the big question you really want to ask yourself first is, and I love to, allow people to come to this realization, although you said you have interest already, it's something you want to do, but is this something you even think that it's worth your while? Is it worth your while? Okay, because even time itself is an investment. Forget about the money. The time you're going to be investing in this is an addition to what you're seeing on the screen. So that's your time. Do you think this is worth it? You can unmute and answer the question, from Alex.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
What I can spend my time to do that. Yes, I actually just want to do something aside running a business. I I have little
Exactly.
knowledge about.
Because I was
I'm an
about
auto
to ask you that
mechanic
question.
anyway. That's actually
I
what
was
I
about
do.
asking.
Aside the business that I run, I'm an auto mechanical
Yeah.
engineering. Um, I go to work here, but then I just want something I can sit back at home at some stage once like I don't want to be running a sector. Just sit back at home and do
Absolutely.
something, which is why I don't engage in those
Absolutely.
things
That
now.
makes
But then making that money, if I have it, I would gladly want to pay it, but then I don't have 250,000 to be honest.
all right. So that makes sense. If you don't have 250,000, that makes sense. Okay. But when you ask the question, one thing I was thinking, if you run a business right now, okay, you currently run a business and you also work. Is it time you need to raise 250,000, or you just don't have the 250,000? Is it time you need, or you don't have the 250,000? Because they're two different things. Your mic is muted in case you're speaking.
Okay, so the thing is, let me say
You're
time.
smiling.
Let me say, yeah, because I have bills. I have
Mhm.
an 18-year-old girl who's processing Unilag. I have,
Okay.
I mean, so many things on my. So if I
So
say
many other things.
the money's going to come at any time soon, you say what? What
No,
did you
I'm
say?
just saying that you have so many other things that you have, like bills that
Yes,
you
like
pay.
the house rent is there,
Mm.
the shop rent is there, the daily bills. So, like, ah,
I
I'm not going to lie to myself, honestly.
understand you.
As much as I have interest in it,
Mm.
I can't see myself squeezing that out now, honestly.
Okay, that's fine. So it's not as if there's a real problem. It's just time you need. So I can work with you on time if it's time you need. Okay, because if you look at it, count this as an investment. You're a business owner. Okay, you have overhead cost on your business. That cost has to go in for your revenue to come back so that you can hit the bottom line in your business. So this that you're seeing right here in front of you is an investment that you'd invest in yourself this time and not your business. Okay, so you invest in yourself, and guess what? Because you are running a business and you're doing some other things as well, this could be the game changer for you, even within your business. All right, and you can move yourself to the next level. Okay, I heard you also mention that you want to work from home, which is very brilliant. That was one of the reasons I got into tech. Okay, and for the past almost 5 years now, I've been working from my home. I've never ever gone to the office. Not a tie and say I'm going to the office to work. That's never happened. Since lockdown. So it's a case of sitting down and saying, okay, if it's time I need, when exactly do I see myself registering? Okay, can I secure a slot now at least? And then I start maybe in August. Okay, little by little, I gather the funds and start in August. All right, because if we were to offer this for free, the value we are giving for some of the lifetime, offering, if we were to offer it for free, which effectively it is, because the kind of value you'd get at the end of the day is beyond what you are seeing on the screen, right? But our mantra is we want to be able to help Africans as much as we possibly can. We have people from Ghana, Kenya, South Africa join our programs, a lot of Nigerians also. So that's our mantra, okay? Because if you go outside, anywhere you see this kind of value, you're not going to see it for 250,000. Even on our website, it is not 250,000. Okay, so what I'll say to you is secure a spot tonight, and then let's talk about how we can spread the rest. If time is really the problem for you, Adex. What do you think about that?
Okay, it's fine. I can work something else.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so I'll be expecting your DM or maybe any of my team members tell me that, oh, Adex reached out and wants to have a discussion on how we can work together. So as we are speaking, people have secured their spots to start in August, just to give them time. Okay, some people, they have different reasons. Maybe they want to travel, some they want to raise the money, some they just need the time and all of that. So you can absolutely do that as well. Okay, so let us move to Sally Al Hassan. I was looking at my phone and I saw your name pop up on my LinkedIn. You sent me a LinkedIn request or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Go with your
Okay.
question.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay. So now you mentioned something like Luca
Yes.
during your course. I didn't want to interrupt at that time. So, and although I'm working in a company where we use Luca for one or two things, and internships have been coming up for data analyst or data science. So yes. So I don't know. I've been seeing it, so I don't have any idea. So I try to see if I can remember my way by trying to apply. Then last I got kicked out. I wasn't even sent even an invitation for interview or for review. So seeing this here now, so it gave me another chance, hope, okay, I can still get into that data team.
Yeah.
I work in a solar company where we sell solar products and we work with a lot of data very well.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So now I want to know how will it benefit me if I decide to go in with your course. And also, is it possible for me to make my payment probably tomorrow evening, because I don't have any money on me this night? Is it possible? And I would love to join the class probably by August, because I have things to do with money and other plans as well.
All right, that makes sense. So two main questions. First off, for the data analytics program, Luca Studio is one of the tools you'd get to learn. Now, the nature of this is, and this is me speaking to your question, how will it benefit me? The nature of this is that for data analytics, right, you see each of these tools that I'm circling here, Power BI, Tableau, and Luca Studio. They are basically business intelligence and data visualization tools. Now, when a recruiter sees that you are conversant with these three business intelligence tools, you become the most attractive. Okay, you become the most attractive out of all of the applicants. I think it was Mary who was speaking, that they told her after she got the job, they told her that 3,000 people applied for that role that she got, and they picked only 2 people, and she was one of them. So what are the things that makes the difference at the end of the day? This is it. Okay, so that's one. Now, Looker Studio is developed by Google, and it's one of the, it's very easy to use. Very easy to use. But again, if you don't have the right experts in class with you, working with you, something that is very easy will look very hard. Okay, so Looker Studio is one of the tools you get to learn with the data analytics program, alongside other data visualization tools, as I've said earlier, and that's how it will benefit you. So I hope that answers that particular question. Then to your second question. Now, can you secure a spot tomorrow? Well, yes, you can. Okay, that's a simple answer. Yes, you can secure your spot. But the dicey thing about securing your spot tomorrow is that, first off, you miss out on this extra. Where is it? You miss out on this. I'm not even sure. I think we've already hit 10 people, if I'm correct. But that's just me doing a rough calculation on my head, right? So, well, my best guess is maybe the 10th person spot now. Let me start. Okay, so I've muted the mics. So the thing is that you would miss out on this first. Now, we also watch the demand of our program. So by tomorrow, you may come now and you hear, oh, it's a paying full that is available. So, but what I can do for you, since you've asked me the question, okay, is tomorrow, okay, first off, send a DM now. Okay, when you send the DM, state that, oh, I was the one that mentioned I would be securing a spot tomorrow, so that you are giving that grace. So it's something we'll do for just you. It's not general. We'll do it for you. You secure a spot tomorrow, and then, as you said, you indicate you want to start in August when you're filling the enrollment form, and then you are all good and all set for the August cohort. Okay, so I hope that works for you.
Yes, please. That works.
All
Thank
right.
you. So sorry, what will you advise to go for? Is it for the data science or data analyst? Which one would you advise? I should go for?
It depends on your interests. Okay, it depends on your interests, but
The one that will allow me to have access to Looker and the Power BI.
okay, Looker Studio is under the data analytics. So go for the data analytics.
Thank you.
Yeah, data analytics.
I'll
All
be
right.
you now.
All right, no problem. I'll be expecting. Saleh Al Hassan is the last person I would have taken. Okay. So I'll just take one more person. The BC Grace, go ahead. You'll be the final person I'll take. Else you'll stay here today till midnight, and I don't plan doing that. Okay, so the BC Grace, your question, and then we'll call it tonight.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you for the class and everything. Although I didn't come in as early because I came back a bit late. So I just wanted to get information about jobs. Is it possible
Okay.
for someone to work 2 jobs at a time?
Oh, fantastic question. Very good. Short answer is yes. Okay, you can even do 3, but here is how. So you want to work 2 jobs, for example, especially in tech. What you can do is you look for jobs in different time zones. So say, for example, you're in Nigeria, so you can work for maybe a company in the UK. They have very similar time zone as us, and then you get another job with a US firm. So that way, when you are finishing one, you have time for the second one. Okay, but one thing I tell people about doing something like that, because I've done it before, so I have experience in that. So what you can do is what you have to do is you would need to manage your time, like, permit me to use the word crazy. You need to be at a different level when it comes to time management. Even your sleep, will be your timetable. If not, you'd risk you'd risk a lot in terms of even keeping the job and the likes. So your time management skill, very apt. If you can do that, then it's easy for you to work even 3 jobs with ease. Okay, you just be strategic about the time zones, the mode of work, and the likes. So, and that's why I love contract jobs. It is sweet. Okay, contract jobs are usually flexible. You just need to work maybe 4 hours a day. All right, so you do the 4 hours any time of the day you want. Just get the job done. That's their own problem. So that way
Okay.
it's so you can target, and jobs like that you can get it on Upwork. They're everywhere. Okay, but these are things that we'll get to share with you during the training program as well. Okay,
All right,
so
sir.
yeah, so
Okay, I'm booking my slots now. So I'll
all
send you a
right,
DM. All right,
all right,
thank
that's
you.
fine. It's a pleasure. All right, I'll be expecting. Okay, so that will be the end of the session. I enjoyed myself. I hope you got value for your time as well. If you are still here at this time, I really, really appreciate your time. And I would love to see each and every one of you in the class. Okay, so cheers. If you have any questions, just reach out to us on any of our social media handles, IG, YouTube, Facebook. We'll be happy to respond to you. Cheers, guys, and have a wonderful night's rest.